Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and if you're new to the channel then welcome. I hope you're all doing great. Today I am at the Pingyao ancient city in the city of Taiyuan in the Shanxi province of China, and I'm exploring this ancient city. It's a really beautiful, really amazing, really fascinating city, and I'm exploring it today, so let's go. This building is the old administrative building where they used to hear cases. This is basically the court of the Qing and Ming dynasties, cases of the people, the problems of the people, and how to solve them. At entrance into those places you need to buy some tickets. Just bought my ticket and we are going in. We're still waiting to get inside. There are a lot of people today, a lot. Every street is flooded with people. You can see behind me there's a long line right over there. And it actually feels like you're entering some courthouse, like of a kingdom, of a king or a general. You can see this building is supported by this wooden log, and it had cracks inside. I don't know how long this building can be supported with these wooden logs, but they have preserved it very well, and it feels very... if you stand here and if you just put the ambience noise of the people and the crowd in behind to shut down, and you feel like you are actually standing in a place where people used to live 2,000 or 4,000 years ago, and they used to do their daily life proceedings right over here. You can see and imagine the feeling of this place, the aura of this place. Amazing. You can see a baggy behind me there. And all this place was a courtyard. You can see the high elevated ground right over there with where the general would sit, and then you can see some other places where the prosecutor or the defendant or the accused would stand, and they would hear them, the problems and the other things, and then they would pass the judgments regarding those people. On the right side of this courtyard you can see the Rights and Education Department. I'm going in. They have this museum where they have placed the old ornaments and some relics and some paintings that were found here in those ancient times. Actual traditional dress of that time. Then this is a flag of that time, a banner of that ancient Qing and Ming dynasties. The same, another flag. Then here is another dress which is much bigger than the previous one, and it is designed beautifully. You can actually see two dragons here, one and two dragons on this, and another one here in the center. The clouds. Some of the ink pots that they use on their tables when writing, ink pots and stamps. The sculpture relic of the ancient city that you can still find some writings on them, Chinese writing written on them. And all these three, probably these would be the laws or the constitution book that has been preserved right here, that was written by those time in those people. There's another one on the other side, and they were written so that people would follow the rules and the laws and regulations. This is the council hall for the council to sit in and decide on matters. Then we go inside the main court house. The main courthouse building of this place, and you can see behind me is the table of the emperor, the general, that would sit here and listen to the problems and would pass judgments and rules and regulations right over here. Also you see this is the center mid court, and then on the right side you see some money and grain storeroom. So if there was some problem or someone wanted money or some grains, or there would be an award, they would just pass the judgment, and from backside they would bring in the money and the grains and give it to the people. And on the right side of this stage, of this seat, is the weapons storeroom, where we can go in, and I see there are a lot of weapons of that time right here displayed outside. And these as well. This is probably a catapult which would throw arrows or something like that. This weapon storage room is actually a small room where they have put some ancient tables right over here, we can see, and then you have these clothes of different types of officials which are named below, and their clothes are displayed above with beautiful embroideries. You can see, and even in those ancient times, people used to do this beautiful embroidery on silk dresses, because China was very famous for its silk and its embroidery and fine craft. So you can see there these main officials and their dresses displayed here with great embroidery and very beautiful hats. Going at the back side of this courtyard, so it says that this is the entryway to a large old style house. One of the reasons why these places are labeled so accurately, and we know that they are labeled accurately, like you can see this is the legal counselor's office, is because the relics and the writings that were produced or discovered from the Ming and Qing dynasties, those writings were then interpreted, and then this city was renovated using those writings and those relics and those books and the records of those books. So all these places are labeled very accurately because of those books that were written by those people in Qing and Ming dynasties, and then these people, they read them and then they renovated all this city using those books and the instructions that were given in those books. This tree right behind me is a pagoda tree, which was first planted in Han Dynasty. You can read here. It was planted in Han Dynasty, and then they have been replaced. They died, then they have been replaced for over 2,000 years. And this tree right here is almost 600 years old. This is the civil court hall that was used for civil disputes in Ming Dynasty. This hall, and they were used to operate just like the governments these days operate. You can see the hall all made of wooden planks and wooden logs. You can see the courthouse and the hall. Then getting past this civil court hall, we have another entrance at the back, and then this is actually the house where they would live, because this is the Xihua guest room, and on the right side is the Donghua guest room. This is basically the west guest rooms, and these are the east guest rooms, and then there is the main house inside. Standing on this high ground made me realize, like, you can see behind me so many roof spaces, and so I think I'm standing in the main proceeding rooms where the magistrate, the general, or I don't know if the emperor would sit here and they would pass the judgments. You can see the big drums, people are hanging on them, and then this is the place where they would execute the rulings made by the emperor or the magistrate right here, or the general. The office of arresting officer. So according to this, there were two types of arresting officers. Number one, was infantry and the other one was cavalry. So they would rest, and you can see the courtyard of the main court is that side over there, and then on the left side of those courtyard is this garden and this area where they would probably pass the executions. You can also see the flags raised here, right here, and the same kind of flags that you would see of the dynasties, different dynasties, and they would execute their places right over here.